here is the review for episode 3. So, straight into it. So yeah, so the first thing that came on that made me laugh was Amy was saying, if this was 10,000 BC, we'd say do one. Now I'd love, that just made me laugh, that, just the fact that she said if it was 10,000 BC, they'd then drop a modern day slang in them, so that made me laugh, that. And Hannah wants to jump tribe. This early on, Hannah mentioned that like there's a bit of a conflict in hers, and she wants to jump camp. But because I wrote that down in my notes, I can't remember which one she's in. I think she's in Craig Tribe, and having now watched the 4th episode, which I'll review later, I don't think she would want to jump camp at all because things are going wrong. But that's in the future. I'll do that later. So the camps just meet up, and John says, "Oh, we were just thinking about Rob You Blind." Now, John, how can I put it without being? I don't want to be offensive, obviously, but I think John isn't much of a people person when it comes to kind of trying to get people to do what he wants, trying to be like the nice way of doing it. I think he's just kind of very, this is that, and this is this, and that's how it is, full stop. So when he said about Rob You Blind, I just thought, that's not the first thing you say to a new tribe when you meet him. And Jay. I really want to like Jay, but there's certain things he says at times which just, they make me scratch my head. Jay turned around and said John's like somebody that he'd expect to live in a council estate. What's wrong with a council estate? Seriously. He's just like, he builds himself up and he's alright, and he drops some and you just think, what a dick. But no, hopefully he's gonna turn himself around. That's the hope for it. And then Jay said if they'd have saw the new camp, they'd have possibly killed him. I don't know. I've not seen the big hunter in him yet, but it might come. So, but that made me laugh as well. And it's quite interesting about the trading that they said between camps, because obviously hunt camp, they've got all the fishing gear, and lake camp have the hunting gear. So it made sense to kind of swap, have some between them. So it was said that it'll be 50-50. Whether that carries on in the future, we'll have to see. Because obviously, when you're down at the lake, if they catch something, they could keep it and just tell them they've not got anything. And the same goes with the hunting. They could kill a deer and keep the whole thing, saying, no, I've not caught anything. So it's interesting to watch the dynamic between the groups and how they decide to do that. Caroline's friend is ill. Now, she, on the programme, obviously, she got a phone call. One of the producers told her that a friend was like seriously ill. Now, it seems heartless of me to say this, but it's like what I think, so I'll say it anyway. Surely a friend would want her to stay. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's what I'd want. I wouldn't want somebody coming back from like a life-changing, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to come back and see me. I'd just say, no, you crack on and do it, because she must have been ill before she went. And obviously, like I said, I don't want to speak ill about anybody, but I kind of agree with Paige that I think she will regret it. Maybe she won't. Like I said, it's just my opinion. But yeah, Paige saying that she thinks that she should have stayed. Yeah, I agree. Terry's fast becoming one of my favourites in Snake Camp. Just because of the way she is. Like, she on the other hand wasn't like, oh, I feel bad that Caroline's going. She was like, yeah, Caroline, you should go. But before you leave me your stuff. So she's quite practical, because she was like saying, yeah, we'll get her stuff and it's all good. And then boom, the girls start arguing about the wardrobe, about who gets what bra, who gets what to sleep under. And it was nice to see I understand it, because when somebody goes, you get their stuff. And it should be fairly divvied up. But it's just the fact that they were arguing over wardrobe, and it just made me laugh that almost the modern day girls were suddenly, they were back in the forefront of the man, like, I want to look good. Give me something, give me that bra, I need that bra. And then Ashley dropped some seriously deep knowledge on everybody. And I wrote this down because that's how good it was. She put, everybody has a voice, but not ears to listen. And I was like, wow, that's seriously deep. I was studying awe. And then she turned to Paige, because I wrote it down here, and she said, and where is it? Everybody's got it. And then she advised her about a cleavage. So it was like deep, meaningful. Let's talk about tits. So that did have me smiling. She did. It was on. It just made me laugh. The no trust thing they've got between the camps is massive. I think that's kind of it's a modern day thing, obviously, to not like people. And it's also something that would happen back then. You don't trust who you don't know. But I think for him, I think it might go against him. Because like the hunt camp, taking the fishing gear down every day and then taking it back, it needs to be in overnight. It needs to be in the water to kind of get to reap the best reward from it. So what I thought as I was writing it down, that they should maybe leave somebody there to watch it, to make sure the other tribe aren't taking any of the food and stuff. But they have to leave the pots. They can't take the fishing gear with them. It just makes no sense. So to me, it makes sense that the fishing camp fish and the hunt camp hunt, and they can make the most of the environment. And it did actually they seemed to agree that as the show went on, like that's what they do. Because I'll get onto Dave in a minute, because it made me laugh. I did a lot of laughing through this episode, actually. I've said that a lot, made me laugh, but it actually did. Not like the LOL you put in a text message, but it actually made me laugh. John. Yeah. John is seeming a little bit sexist. And again, I think it's more of an age thing. I don't think he's meaning to, or he's saying things in a bad way, but he is kind of inferring that the girls can't do as well as the boys. And he said about they're worried about the way they look and things. It's like, oh, John, it's starting to grate on me. Because he's kind of bullheaded and his ideas are right and that's it. And that's not the case, especially in a time like that. Like, it's all good being the alpha male, but you can only be as good as your tribe. And if your tribe don't respect you, you ain't going to get anywhere. And some of the girls have some great ideas. So like I said, I think he just needs to rein in his modern day thinking and just go with everybody as a voice and at least hear them out. And they got a ladder. Cray tribe. They've got a ladder. That annoyed me. We could have done with a ladder in ours. Enough about mine, but a ladder. Taking the piss. Dave. I like Dave. Dave is just big, cuddly, smiley Dave. And then he said about the fishing. Everybody was saying, like, Dave is a fisherman. He is awesome. He's a world-class fisherman. And then he turned to the camera and went, I have fished in 20 years. Now that was genius. That was a moment of genius. And they're now eating cattails. Cattails are a great source of carbohydrates for that where they are. But man, they taste like crap. They taste better than burdock. Dandelion and burdock does not taste anything like burdock. Don't fool yourselves. But cattails, you can eat them. But like smash. You know, smash mash. So like you chew it, but it's all stringy. But the mash is kind of in between it. So it's all right, but it's still nasty. So yeah, and the hard thing that we find out now is when a group goes out, so in each tribe, say a couple of people will go off to do something. The other group don't know how hard they're working or what they're actually doing, so it's quite easy for them to get annoyed, thinking, oh, they're not pulling their weight and they're not doing that. And that is one of the big things, it's not knowing what everybody's doing. Because like nowadays, we live in a world where you got your phone, and if you're in work, somebody asks you to do something, you can physically see what they're doing. Whereas back then, because as well the people are still getting used to the environment, if somebody's gone collecting wood, they'll think, oh yeah, they've got a bit of wood. But they don't know how hard it's been for them to get that kind of thing. So it's kind of, like I said, that's gonna play a big part of that, the kind of infighting between the camps. Not between the camp, but in the own tribe. Because you can't tell how hard somebody else is working. And other people have different values on what hard work is. Oh yeah, and that was it. And Sam, at the end, getting upset. Oh, I felt for Sam. Everybody makes mistakes, Sam. So he was like, chin up, fella. And at least he's not a wanker. Because he's trying. Do you know what I mean? He's doing. And he put the pot on and the flames were too high. And I was watching thinking, the flames were too high there. And it fell off. And people looked at him like he'd done something wrong. But they all saw that the flames were too high. And not one of them stepped forward to kind of help. So yeah, I like Sam. Sam's doing alright by me. So yeah, that was my review of number 3. Next one will follow because I kind of left this one on because I was in work. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe to these bad boys and catch you soon.